believed, well, let's just say this, they became wealthy enough through Hex that some of them were, the people who did Hex right, the people who staked it for a few years instead of just trading it, they were able to look a little bit further to Pulsechain and spend a little money on building the future. So, and also some people on Ethereum, would come over too. So it's going to be connected. You can move between chains, which is going to help for adoption. So I'm really excited because for me, I came from Ethereum, and if you've used AVAX, at least the Z chain, it's basically the same thing. Only, when I started with AVAX, it was kind of like a ghost chain. That's why I didn't stick around over there. I know there's more going on now, but in the beginning, when it first started, it was just, I did all the steps. I got my airdrop. I was using AVAX, and I felt like, wow, there's not really much going on here. And so I didn't stick around, I mostly stuck around with Ethereum. And I don't think that's going to happen with Pulsechain because there's just so much creativity being pushed into it and economic mass, So, and also, Hex has 7 billionaires involved. So that kind of helps, right? We got 7 billionaire Hexicans, and they're, I would say for the most part, they're invested into Pulsechain and they want to see it succeed. And so that kind of backing, it's kind of like, it's not really, because it's decentralized, right? So it's not like a company or, venture capitalist company, but it's kind of like that. You have some backers that really believe in you, and they're going to produce things that'll help the ecosystem be adopted. That's really important. So at the height of Hex, when it was at its all-time high, it was the third cryptocurrency in the world, and it just was 2 years old. Literally became the third one in the world. It had maybe $200 billion value, but we are definitely down from there, 90% down. But that's really powerful to see. Like, wow, Richard Hart's plan, it didn't just get like a little small adoption in a little niche market and then fizzled out over time. Like this, we won't say break traditional finance, but it could find its place as a tool in the real world, right? That's what I could see. There's a lot of people that need to retire. Actually, everybody needs to retire. And a stable supply of inflation of, usually we're inflating only 1% as far as what's being minted in a year right now. It's 3.69%, but that's pushed out to the future. So, only the people who end state get to mint new Hex. So about 1%-ish coming out, which is a really low inflation level of actual Hex coming out. That gives us a lot of room to grow, as far as going higher. Like I said about Bitcoin, if they go up to $1 million tomorrow, they will need $140 billion worth of new onboarding new users, $140 billion. I don't know about you, but that would be like onboarding the S&P 500 all buying Bitcoin. They have a high barrier to staying still if it goes high, right? If it goes high, it's a good chance it's going to go down because there's just too much profits going to the miners, right? So what Richard Hart calls the top of an S curve, that's kind of what he means.
And I was curious, just mention NFTs, like is there a marketplace coming on?
Sure, yeah. Like we have a lot of NFT. So for Pulsechain, one of the big ones, Mintra, and then there's How to Pulse. I think they're going to make one called NFT on Pulse. I believe one called Pixel Park. It's going to be with Power City. I think there's going to be another one I heard. So literally, we're most likely going to have 4 within the first, several months going into this thing, hopefully. And there, yeah, we have a lot of NFT creators. Usually Richard Hart's like not really pushing NFTs as an investment vehicle. We already have Hex that does really good for that. But as far as creativity, he understands that Pulsechain is going to be built in a way that allows NFT people to really flourish. If you've been on Ethereum for a while, then you know why you wouldn't want to be on Ethereum for NFTs because, yeah, it's rough, it's expensive, and some people want to trade NFTs, and yeah, it's like getting stabbed with a knife every time you do a trade. Eats out your profits, and with Pulsechain being that free, 3-second block time, less than a penny transaction, it allows people who either trade cryptocurrencies, trade NFTs. If you're a company that wants to run something to do with the blockchain, you're going to need something that's pretty pretty cheap. It shouldn't be offensive to your customers. Like, hey, that'll be $10 for the fee. They're like, what? Okay, I'm not going to use the blockchain anymore. Let me go use something else. So yeah, I could see that businesses are going to actually like Pulsechain because they can use it, for fairly freely to get the job done.
Yeah, I heard a guy jump into a space the other day, and what you were saying about like the gas fees, and his first thing was he said, I thought there was no discrimination in crypto, but he's like, I can't even afford to mint my projects, on Ethereum. He's like, $30 is a week's wage, kind of thing, or a day's thing. He's like, I can't afford that. So
hopefully within 3 months, 4 months, who knows, hopefully Pulsechain will be out. So we're on to iteration 3 of the testnet, and it's been working great for like 6 months straight. He's fine-tuning some stuff with consensus, how the validators move between each other. But so to be honest, we could launch any day now. Like I said, if you want to use the testnet and try it out, man, it's really fast, really smooth, and there's a couple 100,000 people using it. Several projects actually are on testnet right now. Like there's one for Bitcoin Lightning into Pulse, so you could like literally send Bitcoins in and get Pulse out. Fiat.io is kind of like Aave, a lending basically platform. There's a bunch. Pulsex is the main DEX though, so to me that's the one that I'm pretty interested in, using the DEX.
So now we're forking it, and I think he actually said one time that hard fork is the answer. And so after Pulsechain launches, and I don't know, I just have a feeling the miners are going to give him problems about switching over, and it'll never get done.
Well, the good thing about the miners is that even Vitalik himself is telling the miners, yeah, you guys made your money, we're moving to proof of stake so that, the SEC doesn't come after my chain. And then, Pulsechain's going to reduce his load for him, so he's not going to have any objections there.
Yeah, he likes the roll-ups. Like I said, he likes the roll-ups in the layer 2 to take the load off. So he's not worried at all. One of his interviews, he said, oh yeah, it might take 4 years. Yeah, maybe so.
I think we even heard Richard say that Vitalik was supporting Pulsechain, but I heard that almost a year ago, but Richard said something along the same line.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, but it makes sense. Basically, you're pushing all your customers away to solve your problems, right? That's like, really? Is that how you solve your problems? But
not everyone will leave Ethereum. I mean, there's contract deployed on Ethereum that have nowhere else to go. But, he will lose users, definitely. He doesn't give a shit.
Vitalik knows that scratching our back is scratching his back as well. So, yeah, he's going to let things play out himself.
He's bought enough unicorn pajamas and stuff, so he's set for life.
He's got the entire My Little Pony collection on HD, so he's good there.
He's a trip, man. I think he has, I don't know if he has I bet he has Asperger's, He
acts like he has some kind of social anxiety or mental roadblock.
It's a social defect, but I think it's Asperger's. They're very brilliant.